Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Tauros, which is just a pure fighting type Pokemon in the Open Great League. We are going to take a look at this one. You can only get this one in Spain and Portugal, but of course you're going to be able to remote raid it. And if you want to have it for the Great League, you also have to trade for it. So it took me a bit there, but actually I got it on the first trade. So like that was quite lucky. I got this one on the first trade. I also got the other one, the water type version, in the first trade as well with it. So if you are interested in a showcase of the water type version of this Tauros as well, then feel free to leave a like. Maybe I'm gonna do it then tomorrow as well. So we have all three Tauros showcased on the channel. But this one has access to close combat, which you can use here already in the beginning, which is going to be the one that does the most amount of damage for sure, because Aqua Jet and Flame Charge are on the other ones, and those are not that great. But here we're going to have access, of course, to the big close combat, which does so much damage. Here we're going to go down, but we're going to be able to still align ourselves, and as you will see here, they're going to have a Morpeko in the back, and we're going to play this out quite interestingly. What we do is, we're going to let the first move go through. Why? Because the opponent has only Psychic Fangs, and Oriel is still an electric type move, which is resisted on grass type moves, like Pokemon there. So for us it was a safe play to let the first move go through, and we were able to get up to a Grass Knot. Now I know that our Sableye is not going to be able to win this matchup because we're going to lose the CMP tie and they're going to outspeed us, but we are going to be able to get both shields from them if they want to keep their Morpeko alive, which is at this point definitely their best choice because they already revealed that they have one Pokemon that's very weak to our Credilli. And so we can get both shields, swap out straight away, go for the Grass Knot, which covers both the play for them to swap out as well as here the Morpeko, and with that we're going to be able to win this battle. Next opponent, we're going to see a Charger Bug against in the lead. This is going to be a matchup where it really depends on the fast move timing, and they don't really do a great job here. As you see here, we're going to be able to get a free fast move in. Our Rock Tomb is going to connect now against the opponent, which is going to be great because it's going to drop the opponent's attack, but also we're going to get the shield from them. And again, they give us basically 2 free turns, which is absolutely amazing. As a 3-turn fast move user, it's quite decent to play against a 4-turn fast move user. Because like it's very difficult for them to really align their fast moves correctly. They have to go always kind of for 2 volt switches in order to not give you a ton of energy for free. And so yeah, that was kind of nice for us. Here I was hoping that I would be able to just knock them out without having to go for a charge move, but sadly the Lapras is just a little bit too bulky. And with this we're going to be able to go for the foul play. I actually do think that if I went for the Grass Knot against the Lapras, it would have been better for me, because Grass Knot does more damage, and while they would do a little bit more damage against us, we would have been able to mostly farm them down. But I didn't expect that we have Power Gem on the Sableye. For me, that's my favorite coverage move still. I know Dazzling Gleam is cool, has some potential as well in certain situations, but for me, Power Gem is honestly a really cool charge move there on the Sableye currently. I think it is the better one to go for, especially team building wise, because the Sableye pairs really well to most of the rock type Pokemon currently. And so you can keep the coverage for whatever wants to swap in against you that wants to avoid your rock types, which I used already previously in like teams with the Bastion and Elite, stuff like this. And here it works out super well as well. Our Tauros is going to go up against the Blasters now. We can take a hit easily and we can farm them down and win the battle. Next opponent, we're going to have a Swampert here against us. This is going to be a great lead for us, and we should try to play that one out. They're going to go ahead and go for the charge move here. That's going to be the Hydro Cannon, and we're going to see them starting out into the Clodsire. I can get some damage in, and this hopefully going to make the matchup a bit easier for our Sableye. That's what I thought, and that was wrong. I should have mostly not done this. I should have most likely just swapped out straight away and kept the energy. Why? Because one Grass Knot plus a foul play is not enough. It is not enough to get them even to farm down range here, so we will see it as well. We have to still go for another charge move, and if they want to use a shield, I have to use another shield because I don't really want to get hit by an Earthquake, and they do decide to use another shield. On the bright side though, we're going to be able to get rid of one of the hardest answers for our Tauros already, but we're going to be 1 shield down, and we're going to end up now in a scenario where, okay, we're going to get out the Jumpluff. That's actually really nice because, guess what? We have the Power Gem, which is going to allow us to do so much damage against the opponent. We're going to be able to let the move go through. Shockingly, maybe we can still survive. Energy Roll? Oh, I think it was really close that we didn't survive this one. But we can still go for a Rock Tomb here. They still have the Swampert in the back lurking. And it looks like a possible matchup for us to win, because what we can do is we can now swap out into the Tauros. Tauros should be able to knock them out here, but also should be able to go for just a Trailblaze to knock out the Swampert. We need a bit more fast moves than the opponent to get to our move, but there should be energy dry, so we can go for 3 more fast moves afterwards and get the Trailblaze in. Can we still reach a close combat in time against the Jumpluff is the question here. It looks pretty good. Can we get there in time? we barely miss out on it, and with that, we're going to sadly lose the battle. Yeah, unfortunate, I would say. I don't know how many fighting types are currently there in the Great League that are having access to close combat and double kick. Like, I think that's kind of more of a rare matchup there. But of course, you're going to have other fighting type Pokemon that are just going to be better than Tauros. Like, that is the thing as well. Yes, I always kind of want to try to get every Pokemon that I can for the Open Great League. But for Tauros, like this form here, Primeape is just better. Like, there is literally the same fighting type coverage there. I think they have very similar stats as well. If you have the non-Shadow Primeape, Shadow Primeape is very, very squishy. Here, by the way, we let the move go through because I want to farm them down with my Tauros. And so I want to take a hit here and then swap out straight away while keeping the energy. Turns out that Tauros is so squishy, which is kind of reminding me again of Primeape, which has access to Karate Chop, which is better than Double Kick and Close Combat as well, that we are not going to be able to farm them down, and I wasn't even able to go for my charge move there at the end of the day. And that's really unfortunate. We're gonna get out the Morpeko from the opponent, so like the game is not over yet, but it's quite a bit of an annoying scenario for us right now. We still have, though, energy on our Credilli, so maybe we can use that one for our advantage. And we are gonna be able to go for that Grass Knot again, and I feel like this looks like a deja vu where we're gonna be able to get rid of the Morpeko. But then they have the Talonflame in the back, and they go for the charge move here. I have to try to go for the Power Gem. Can I get to the Power Gem in time? I can, and that is going to be game. And this is why we are running Power Gem. Goodbye, Talonflame. Next up, Gastron in the lead is going to be great for us, and they swap out into the Jumpluff, which is even better for us, because we still have Grass-type coverage in the back. And so I'm kind of happy on how this is going to go so far. Aerial Ace is coming through, we can go for the Rock Tomb to try to drop the opponent's attack here. Benefit here is that we're going to be able to two-shot them, and they're definitely not going to be able to do that to us. And we still have a good match against the opponent's Gaston with our backline, so like I'm not too worried here. We will see that they're going to go ahead and take that hit, take the Rock Tomb. We will have the opponent now up against our Credilli. Credilli goes up against the Weezing, and I make a mistake here. You see it here on the right side. I go for the Grass Knot. I don't know why, because of my backline I was thinking just about the fairy typing of it. Of course it has the poison type, but mostly I would have used a shield there if I actually went for the right move. I realized it quite fast, and here again I make a bit of a mistake. I realized basically immediately here at this point that the opponent is running Overheat, because otherwise they wouldn't go for the Sludge. Like, they would just go for the Brutal Swing. There's no reason to bait here unless they have Overheat. And they're able to do that twice, which is kind of unfortunate. But also, I go for the risky play and go for a Power Gem here. I was hoping that they would just let it go. They didn't. And if I would have not done this, I would have been in such a better position. Because now, yeah, they can go for the Sludge to knock me out. I need one more fast move to go for another foul play. Nothing I can do here. Like, nothing I can do. It's going to be the Overheat. It's not going to knock us out, but it's doing too much damage. Just doing too much damage here. Like, well played from the opponent. Baiting me twice. Working out twice for them. But yeah, unfortunate for us. Our team, generally speaking, can struggle a little bit against the Galarian Weezing. I most likely would recommend you to have something different, of course, in the back compared to the Tauros, but Tauros is the main star of the show here today. We're gonna try to close combat people. So, Aerial Ace is coming through from the opponent here. We will try to go for our own Rock Tomb. This is going to be fine. This is going to be able to get the KO if they let the move go through, which they don't, and so we have a shield advantage now. They're going to be debuffed, which is also great for us. They're going to go for another charge move here. It's going to be the Acrobatics. We can still survive. We can use the shield if I want to, but I can go for the full farm on here as well with the Sableye gaining a ton of energy. I just have to hope that they don't have a Fairy type Pokemon in the back, which I would assume they don't, as they already have a Fairy Wind user here, which is good against Fighting type Pokemon, so you always have like kind of already the coverage that you need. And they reveal that they're going to have in the back here the Marowak, which we're going to be able to do some solid damage against. And we're even going to be able to get the KO or the final shield here from the opponent. It is going to be the final shield, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to let the move go through. I'm going to try to win with my close combat user. Let's see if this is going to work out. They decide to forfeit as soon as they saw the fighting typing. This team also can struggle a little bit against Toxapex, and here we swap out into the Tauros, hoping that they would panic and swap out into something different, and that kind of happened, which is cool. Issue is, it's also really good against Tauros, and we don't have anything to deal with the Jumpluff here. Of course, actually it worked out kind of okay for us, because we put them into the range for our Rock Tomb, which is more than I could have ever hoped for, to be fair, at this point. But as we will see here, the Aerial Ace is coming through. And we're gonna be able to go for the Rock Tomb here again. This is going to allow us to get some solid damage in. We're gonna get the KO. And we have the Sableye now against the Marowak. And this is going to be game. There is not a lot that I can do here anymore. This is the power of Shadow Marowak. Like, this is why people are running this Pokemon. If you have 2 shields and you have a Pokemon that's neutral against it, then say goodbye to that, because it's not going to be able to win this. Mud Slap is just hitting so hard, and it generates energy in a solid pace, and has a great move with the Bone Club in order to get the shields from you. So while we are going to be able to win this matchup, what are we going to do against Toxapex? And funnily enough, I can only really realize here right now that the matchup is not that bad for Credilli against Toxapex, because we have Rock Tomb, and so we maybe could have even played this matchup out, but at the end of the day, we also still had the Jumpluff in the back, and this just comes down to having a really bad matchup. I feel like this was just down to having not a good matchup for my team at all. We lose here, fine by me, and we can move on to the next opponent. There is a team currently running around, which I think is the first Legend team of the season. I do think so, which is Shadow Dragonite, Jellicent as a Say Swap, and the what's called the normal variant, the non-shadow variant of the Alone Sandslash with Shadow Claw in the back. I would assume actually that this team, well, I think maybe they're running Impulse, I'm not sure, but I would actually assume that this team doesn't really want to swap out here. I think that's about the core of the Jellicent and the other Pokemon in the back and the Sandslash. So here it's going to be the Shadow version with Shadow Claw, which is fine. But I know what they have in the back at this point. So I know that I can play around it. And like, this is the issue with playing common teams. If the opponent, in this case me, is going to cop on what you're going to have there, you're going to be screwed. Because I would have not played like this. I would have mostly played towards trying to win with my Tauros here for the video. But I'm well aware on what they're going to have in the back. And with that knowledge, I am going to be able to go for the foul play. This is also, by the way, the knowledge that I mainly get from this as well is from doing my current coaching sessions. Like, I do coaching on Metafy, so if you want to check it out, link is down below in the description. And yeah, I write down the teams for you as well, like when we do the coaching for what you're gonna encounter. And yeah, my last student there got, I think, this team up 3 or 4 times in 25 battles. So yeah, eventually, you know, all the teams are kind of running around, and it helps quite a lot, to be fair. So yeah, again, if you want to have coaching, link down below. Just got someone 2 veteran as well, which is kind of nice. So yeah, this is definitely something that you maybe want to consider. Anyway, we're going to take a look here at the next opponent. We're going to have here the Annihilape, the Primeape, which is going to be a bit of an awkward matchup, but we kind of forced to use a shield here because it is our best answer to the Primeape. It's mad on how strong Primeape is, just because you have the pacing to the Rage Fist. Like, I hope that Rage Fist gonna get changed a little bit. I don't think it's as overpowered anymore this season, but like, it kind of forces people to run certain Pokemon in order to deal with it, and I don't know, like, it can stay like this as well. What I would want to see for Rage Fist, by the way, is just like give it +5 energy, but let it do a little bit more damage instead then, so it's not as spammy, and like, you don't have literally +3 attack in 5 seconds basically on the Primeape, but you still have the damage output. So I think that would be kind of the ideal way. But again, I don't think it is as much of a problem this season compared to last season. I think last season was worse for it, but I think we had like a lot more Psywave users, for example, now with Grumpig that got introduced. So I think it's not as overpowered anymore this season as it was last season, but still, I feel like, yeah, it's a very, very strong move. That's all I kind of say towards that. We're going to see the close comment coming through from the opponent, from us, from our Tauros, but sadly it doesn't really matter because they can still go for another move. And again, sadly, the Toxapex is our demise. Final battle for the day. I hope you enjoyed this one. We're going to have here the Claydol against us, and we see the Credilli. You have 2 options here. You can actually stay in and just play it out, because you're going to guarantee win this, because you get the debuff onto them always first. You have 1 fast move advantage, and with that, it's guaranteed that you win this matchup. Like, literally, you can guarantee you realign yourself. But what we can do as well is, we can use Tauros, and yeah, like, it is kind of mad on how much damage still the Grassland does here. Like, it's a debuffed Grassland and still is over half. But we can go for Trailblaze, and we can boost ourselves up, and we can knock them out, and now we have Wigglytuff. But at least we know what we have to do now. We have to go for Rock Tomb here against this Pokemon, and we have to go into our Credilli against this Pokemon, and we still have our Dark type against the Psychic type Pokemon from the opponent. Yeah, that is gonna be a matchup that is gonna be okay for us, but as we will see, we have to use a shield here. It's gonna be the Icy Wind. And they make a great play because they catch the move on the Claydol. Benefit for us here, because of the Rock Tomb, they're actually going to be in range for the foul play. They otherwise would not be in the range for our foul play. So we're going to be able to knock them out here most likely. Issue is we still have to deal with the opponent's weakly tough. Now, I wonder now in hindsight there if it would have been better to just go for the farm down against the Claydol. Like I would have not been able to fully farm them down, but maybe get like more energy, so I would get less farm here. But it doesn't really matter because we never got to another move here, so like, it really doesn't matter. We're gonna lose the battle no matter what. That's gonna be the first video. Not the best Pokemon. Like you don't really need Tauros. That's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.